In this video, we're going to talk about the top mistakes that criminal defendants make in Indiana. About me, I'm Nathan Vining. I'm a defense attorney here in Indiana, and I see all sorts of issues pop up in criminal cases, and we're going to talk to you about what some of those common issues are and what you can do if you're facing a criminal case in Indiana. So one of the first mistakes, and it's one of the most obvious, is missing court dates. It's a big deal if you miss court. It can impact your bail. The court can issue a warrant for the arrest. They could even revoke your bail, so you have to sit it out while the case is pending. What a lot of people may not know is that you can actually go and check your court dates online easily in Indiana. There's a website, mycase.in.gov. Here's a screenshot of it. You can search by your name. There you can see all the information in your case. You can see what's been filed, when the next court date is, so you can be prepared to not miss court. The second mistake we see is talking about the case. You don't want to talk about the case. You don't want to make social media posts about it. And then one of the biggest things is the night you're arrested, or if you're in custody at some point, you don't want to talk in the jail phones. One of the worst things you can see as an attorney is the prosecutor turn over a jail call from the night you were arrested where there's some bad admissions in it, and it tanks your case and makes it a lot harder to defend. So you don't want to talk about the case. You want to be strategic about what you do. You don't want to give them any additional information. You want to invoke the right to remain silent. Third mistake is representing yourself. You always want to seek legal counsel so you can get the best advice and reach the best deal possible, or even be prepared for trial in your case and have the best advantage. Fourth thing is missing critical deadlines. There's a lot of deadlines in a criminal case, and there's even certain things like affirmative defenses where you have to file pleadings to put the state on notice. For instance, with self-defense or an alibi, you would need to file an affirmative pleading by a certain date to let the state know and the court know that you plan on asserting these defenses, and then they have the opportunity to do discovery around them. So it's missing critical deadlines. Fifth is pleading guilty without a full understanding of the ramifications. You need to understand, if you do plead guilty, what you're pleading guilty to, what impact it can have. Sometimes you may have a professional license, or you do something like work with children or in a school setting, and this guilty plea could impact your job, or there could be issues with just future prospects in terms of what education you're trying to achieve. Sometimes if somebody's going to the military and they plead guilty to a felony, there could be issues. So you don't want to plead guilty without the full understanding. Another big one is immigration issues. Sometimes there could be immigration issues with the guilty plea. So you want to understand everything from a holistic standpoint if you plead guilty. The sixth mistake is violating bond or probation conditions. A lot of times you may travel out of state and you realize that you weren't allowed to on your bond conditions, and then that can cause issues. So you understand what the court is looking for you to do if you're out on bond. Are there travel restrictions? Do you need to be on GPS? Is there any reporting requirement? So you want to understand bond conditions so you don't violate bond while you're out. The seventh is poor communication with counsel. Sometimes someone hires an attorney and they sit back and hope for the best. You need to work with your attorney so they understand exactly what happened when you were arrested. So then they can then build the case around the details that you know. As an attorney, when I get hired, sometimes all I know is the police report. I go through and read the state side of things. We need to know your side of things. So you need to have good communication with your attorney so we understand everything that's going on. And the mistake number 8, again, it's similar to 7, but it's not taking the charges seriously. If you are accused, you want to be able to put forward your best defense and find any issues in the case. So you want to take the charges seriously. So if you have questions or you're facing a criminal case, give me a call today. I'd be happy to help. Here's my number. Feel free to call or text me. I'd review a case against you and talk about some mistakes you can avoid in your case.